Well, hi there. It's Sandy Allnock here for MFT with my Create in Color Monthly segment. And I'm going to be coloring the birthday buds and making these tags with them. Aren't they adorable? Such cute little animals. And I love that the balloons are already attached to them, so you don't have to figure out how to make the little animal hold a balloon, etc. And I decided I would use my P.H. Martin's liquid watercolors. These are the watercolors, not the inks, so they have different products. And I just picked out 6 of the colors. You can get them in sets of 12, or you can get them by individuals if you're interested in trying some. And they're really intense colors. That's one of the reasons I chose them for this, because I wanted really bright colors to have with the white paper on a black layer to make my tags. And I thought that would be fun and playful and birthday-ish. And now I'm going to have 8 of them ready to go for the next 8 birthdays for our group. These paints are, if you think of them a little bit like the Inktense pencils, don't let the edges dry. If you want to blend colors, make sure you keep the edge wet, because otherwise it will get a hard line as it's drying and you will not be able to fix that for the most part. And they also don't get really, really dark. You can see kind of the difference. I was trying to see how dark I could make the shadows go. And they don't tend to get really, really dark, at least most of the colors. So you would have to mix it with something else in order to get a true dark. But I wanted to keep these really light, so it worked out perfect. It's also really hard to get a light. And they don't have like a soft pink color, so I had to mix one by putting water into the pig and then watering down the paint so that I didn't end up with a bloody red pig, because that would not be good. It would look more like bacon than a pig. So there you go. But it did work out pretty well to put the water down first and then water down the paint and then add the color to it. So it was nice and watered out and dried nice and flat too, which was good. And the little purple hedgehog, for his face, I wanted a lighter purple, so I just added water in the face and then touched the wet paint and dragged a little bit over, and that worked perfect. The yellow for this little bunny rabbit, I just love the little bunny, so cute. I just painted the yellow in some areas and then took some water and blended those out so I could get some really nice simple blending. With each one of these, you'll notice I'm not painting everything within each one. I'm setting them aside, painting a different one, and then I'll go back in and add the secondary colors for things like the flags on the pig and the flowers on the bunny and all that sort of thing. Just letting them dry, and then I'll be going back in and adding more. But these paints are really nice in a lot of ways. They're a little challenging for me to work with because I'm used to regular watercolors. So going with something that's this intense and needing this much care to make sure that I don't have like dry edges that dry real quickly, because these do dry fairly fast compared to what I'm used to with my watercolors, because those I can lift color. I can add more water to most of it, and unless it's a stainy color, then I end up able to lift that color. These will also stain your stuff. So if you get some, I got some on my board that I work on, this wood textured, wood colored thing. It's not textured, it's wood colored. Yeah, I got some yellow spots on it and some blue spots. So be a little careful with what you're wearing while you're using these. But they are nice bright colors. Like I said, like the Inktense pencils, they give you more color and more pigment, but with having more color and more pigment, you end up with potentially making messes. So that's always a risky thing. So with this little guy, I wanted to make a light color for him, so I had to really totally water that down. I cleaned out the inside, the color that had been in there, and added lots of water because I didn't want to have a little sheep that had other colors in him, but I wanted him to be really light. So I only painted a little bit down there at the bottom and then added a bunch of water to soften all that out so that my sheep would be very soft. I felt a little sorry for him because he's flying by his foot, which is kind of not great. If you want to purchase some of these, but you just want to try them rather than investing in big sets, you can get just a blue, yellow, and red, which is what I'm mixing here to try to mix a brown or a gray, because I wanted to put a neutral floor down underneath, some ground underneath each one of these little characters to give a little something to anchor them on their tags. So just mix different amounts of the different colors and you can neutralize the colors that you have. So most any blue, red, and yellow will work. These seem to work after I did a little fussing around to mix the colors so that they would work out perfect. And then just added it to the bottom of each one of my tags so that I could create a little ground for them to stand on and anchor each one of them. So the ones that I didn't do this with are the two that were flying, because I wanted to put some ground under them, but I didn't want to just kind of have some gray ground there. I wanted it to look like it was ground. So instead I did a little arch of green, so it looked like there was a hillside underneath of them. And that makes them look like they're flying up in the air. The higher the stamp is off of the ground, the higher up in the air they look like. So leave a little distance if you want to make them look like they're way high up. And then I added each one onto a tag that I have the back stamped with the sentiment for the birthday people. And they're all ready to go, except I am a fusser. So I had to fuss and put another detail on it. I haven't done this in a long time, just taking a black pen and drawing some little stitching around the outside edges. Super simple to do, and it's just a little touch that makes them a little more fun. And then I tied a little string, a little bit of thread where that started and ended on each one of the tags. So making it like I fake sewed them, because I don't sew in real life. So now I have 8 really cute little tags that I put some twine on. I can attach them to a little candy gift and be ready for the next birthdays coming up. Thank you so much for visiting with me. Go see MFT's blog for the blog post and all the links and all that good stuff. And I'll see you again next month.